Welcome to the Dr. Nick's Amazing Man Stuff YouTube channel. My name is Dan C. I am the co-host of this show. And this show is the Doctor's Orders, where for we're coming up on, we're over 2 years now of transparently pulling back the curtains and showing you guys what's going on with this company and getting to know the people behind it. And above all, just passing your lunchtime, just having a good time, a good little mental break for the week. And with that, we got some stuff we'll go over today. But first, we need to talk about the co-host. As always, this is the man behind the scenes, saving your banking online institution, saving the medical field world from these hackers that are up to no good. The man rocking the Viking braid beard that everybody dreams about, giving you that Dixon hat there. No affiliation, but Dixon, holler at your boy. He's ready for it. And if you guys could, please help me welcome the co-host here, the doctor of time and space himself, Mr. Nicholas Phelps.
And then you go figure, right in the middle of that, I go to like dim one of my lights and I forget that my light remote is on the same frequency as my speaker.
Yep.
And it changes it from USB input to like another one.
We talked about completely different technologies, completely different companies.
Like, what are the odds?
And the remotes use the same frequency.
I mean, there's only like so many codes that you can program into these little IR bubbles,
Right.
There's only like 100 of them. So it's like, that's why you can always scan them real quick and get with universal remotes. But it's like, what are the odds? Like, that's like perfect example of Nick luck right there. You research everything and then you're like, oh, well, how would you can't even look in the spec sheet and figure out what the IR signature is. And the crowd goes wild.
The crowd goes wild.
Man, episode 115. Here we are. I can't believe it's Black Friday time again. We're already talking about Black Friday, and it's like blowing my mind.
First off, if you guys could, please hit the thumbs up on your way in. I think it's just polite. And then if you want to share it out, I know there's somebody that's having a lunch break and a rough Tuesday right now. They're feeling tired. And maybe this is just that mental gymnastics that they need. Maybe it's just the positive food that just kind of gets their day on the right track a little bit. So consider sending it to a friend, posting it on social media. We are proud of the random conversations we have here. We're proud of the planned conversations we have here, so bring them on out. But yeah, I feel like everyone says this every year, but I don't think I say it every year. I do feel like this was the fastest year in existence.
Completely agreed.
I mean that to my core. I'm not just saying it to Bond. I'm not just saying it. Can you believe it's like, I believe this last year, like I had to catch myself when I said that we've been doing this stream for over 2 years, and I had to like do the math real quick. And I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, we have. That's crazy. It doesn't seem like a year has passed.
No, it doesn't. And it's like what got me, and it's not even like one of those years where I'm like a different fiscal year right now, I think. Because like the biggest thing that happened like in my life in the past year was turning 40, right? So like last September kind of seems like the longest stake in the ground that I can really look back at. And I have got to say that it from my last birthday to this one felt literally like 5 months, like tops,
It's crazy.
It was a year.
Yeah, there's certain things that creep up, like you said, Black Friday, and I'm like, no. We just talked about Black Friday deals. There's no way.
It's like we just did this.
Yeah, and we're gonna talk about the holiday scent release date and give you guys the sneak preview on Black Friday. Same thing when, like, let's say Nick, Jill, and I get together and we're like, hey, we got to talk about seasonal scents and when those are coming and when those are dropping. It's like, it doesn't seem like that's possible. Like the time crept up and it's like, we're not procrastinators. It's not putting stuff off. It just super accelerated.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's like, and what's funny is like, yeah, time flies when you're having fun. Maybe that's a sign that you're doing the right thing, I guess, Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, that's cool. Walter said, just stopping in to say hi. My sister is getting an award for state police for saving a life. Have a good
Hell
stream.
Yeah. Awesome, Walter. Well,
That's awesome,
congratulations from all of us, man. That's cool.
Yeah, I got to meet his sister at their wedding, and they're just a state over from you guys. So they're over in Connecticut and saving lives.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, Connecticut. Cool. I can you can just also let your sister know that I really appreciate the fact that Connecticut Highway Patrol is required to leave their red and blue lights illuminated when they are on duty, even while radaring on the side of the freeway. Really like that about Connecticut. Big fan.
That's so when they're just sitting in the middle, they don't need to be flashing, but they need to be on.
They need to be illuminated. Yes.
Wow, just for safety purposes.
I do not know. Is someone somewhere, some state legislator was like, you know what? Even I get a lot of tickets. I'd rather give myself a fighting chance to see them. I mean, I'll slow down, but like, come on. It's like they do that in Hawaii too. That's the only two states I've ever really driven a lot in that I know that do it is Hawaii and in Connecticut. But it's a trip, man. Like you'll be going down the road and you'll be like, all of a sudden you just see blue lights creeping up behind you. You're like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll slow down and move over.
Yeah.
And then like you see him up in the median and you're like, oh, real sneaky guys. You were over a hill this time. Like,
yeah, right. Interesting. Yeah, and many people in here know, but Joe, the owner of Beard Octane, he is Connecticut State Police.
Yep.
That's what he does for a living. So interesting.
That's awesome. I gotta make sure like I have his like full first and lasts. Yeah. So I ever get popped in Connecticut, I can reference him.
You guys know Joseph? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right.
Look at Mom. She says that beard braid is looking great.
Oh, why thank you, Mom.
See, that's so amazing and refreshing to hear. I come from a family and grew up with a family that do not give compliments, like whatsoever. Not in existence. The thought of like a mom being like, hey, that looks really nice is like mind melting.
Aw. So, Mom, you gotta start dropping Dan some mom compliments.
No,
what I'm hearing
here.
I
wasn't fishing.
I'm hearing a person in need of foster mom compliments.
No, I probably have too much confidence because I had to like overcome not having any given to me. So it's just props to her, and it's refreshing to see families like that. Ooh, Connecticut, yeah. Hey, the like spelling changes over time in over translation of moving from like other areas, for example, has always fascinated me. It's like, what was the name spelled like before we Americanized it?
Connecticut. You know, I see why they changed that one.
Yeah,
that it doesn't exactly roll off the tongue.
Because what was spelled wrong in the Declaration of Independence? Or not spelled wrong, but differently. Pennsylvania.
Oh, I'm sure.
I think Pennsylvania was spelled differently. Leo or somebody help me out. But Pennsylvania and maybe one other state had either an error or was just entirely spelled different. Oh, nice. Dennis got his Beauty and the Beard shirt package from Sam from the post office. Awesome. Dude, our post office, it's so otherworldly grumpy. So
are they really?
Oh man! So I went in, and we always dread going in, and
you can't get them on your side.
Oh, dude, I've tried gifts.
Have you given them any merch?
We've everything. We tried Starbucks. They're just like they're overworked, understaffed. Like I get it, but they were closed yesterday for Veterans Day. We pull in, the parking lot's packed, and we're like, this is gonna be rough. And we go in, and all we want to do is drop off packages to the drop box. That's it. We don't even need to talk to anybody. It still was locked from yesterday because they haven't moved the bin to bring a new one in yet. And it was like 10 o'clock this morning. We still haven't dropped them up. They're still upstairs. And it's like they were not having it. And we were like,
do they have like an inside bulk delivery or reception window?
Yeah. And it's
with the bell.
Yeah, it was closed.
Really?
Yes. They just, man, if they can avoid anything and send you out the door, they will.
Ugh. That's such a pain in the ass.
Yep.
You know, what you might be trying to do is just be angry about the rest of the world with them. You know, sometimes killing them with kindness doesn't work. You have to pretend to join in on their misery. That's like a last resort for me, but I do it a lot.
Yeah.
You know,
sometimes a means to an end.
Sometimes, but you know what? It's like, I think it was like that. That's how I bonded with this guy at our post office. This guy, Scott. Someone walked out and I'm like, this would be a great business if it wasn't for all these damn customers, huh? And he was like, tell you what. Yeah. I was like, and he's like, and ever since then, we are like buddies.
That's great. That's
great. Who knows?
Whatever sparks it, I guess.
Misery loves company.
like that where it's unavoidable. You have to go to the post office for business and stuff.
Dude, yeah.
That makes sense.
Once
All
in a
right, guys.
while.
Let's jump into the topic and then we'll get random. I know you guys are like, once we start talking about serious stuff now or like planned stuff, people start like twitching and itching. They're like,
Yeah.
when
They're like, this is no fun. What's happening?
yeah, right. When can we get to the other stuff? But two topics here. We want to give you guys, the people that are the most important to this community, the people that are most involved with this company, and not just talking about live, but the people that can't catch it and watch the replay as well. We understand and we appreciate all the comments that you guys leave on these videos. So I'll hit the details for you guys super clearly here, and then I'll kick it over to Nick and we'll kind of just discuss thoughts and perspective on this. First thing is, the seasonal scents Yule Tree and Peppermint Bark will be releasing the night of November 18th. These are not new scents. Many of you have tried them and love them. They are seasonal scents that come out for the holidays, but also Christmas and July. So if you're like, man, that kind of sounds familiar, November 18th, they will be releasing, and it's the same as all seasonal scents, you guys. They're going to make a set amount for a small amount of time. Once they go, they're gone for another 6 months. So you can kind of just plan accordingly there. And on that same night, there will be a little sneak peek sale of Black Friday. And just to give you guys, this isn't posted anywhere. It's not going to be any place other than this stream right now. The Black Friday deal is going to be the entire site, to keep it as simple as possible for you guys. Entire site is marked down 20%. And if you have any kind of discount code, like the sign up for the text or any other ones, those can be used on top of it. Mm-hmm. So this is going to be the time to stock up, to try something new. That is on Black Friday, and I will let you guys know it is for the Black Friday weekend. There will be a sale on Monday for Cyber Monday, but it's going to be less than the Black Friday one. So if you're starting to plan out your purchases and prioritize your list, understand that this will be here for Black Friday, a lesser sale on Cyber Monday, and then those sales are done. If you guys have noticed with Dr. Nick's, this is not Kohl's. They don't always have things on sale. They're not always running a promotion every single week or every single day. This is something that when they do a sale, it's a big deal, and it only comes around once in a while. So Black Friday, 20% off the website. Any discounts you guys have saved or use on a regular basis will apply, and you can stack on top of them. And yeah, if you're smart, even the favorites, Dynamite, who loves this company, is always posting about them, says, I'm stocking up. That's, Dr. Nick's would say, yes, that's brilliant of you. So, Nick, holiday scents, Black Friday deals. What else is on the mind? What's the perspective here?
I'm just so glad we kept it simple this year. My brain feels so much better going into Black Friday.
Same.
Same. You know, and it's fun to do like the tiers and like the spend this much, get this much, spend that, get this. Like those are awesome. But I think as we grow, we're probably going to end up having to do less and less of them unless I figure out a way to solve the problem with technology,
right?
And not just mental and emotional support to Jill and Shelly.
Manual overload. Yeah.
Because I don't know if anyone else here, works in a building with two women and one of which you're married to. You do not want to make their lives more stressful, because I can promise you where that goes. So whenever I come up with those crazy ideas, I got to find a way now to make them streamlined and automated and make them more systematic. So doing something like this before we get there, I think this is just the perfect balance of both worlds. If you guys stack discounts, obviously everyone in here just about, has one that they use regularly. And, if you do that, you're going to be able to not only get the free shipping benefit by, getting the cart total up to where you need it, but I mean, you'll be, getting up to 35% ish off, depending on what you do and when you do it. So, I also really like that we're doing the whole thing next Monday night, right? As the sale on Command's Corner, we're going to be able to have Command's Corner we're going to be running through a dry run of that whole Black Friday sale for later in the week. So from a platform perspective, I love that, right? Because we're getting to kick the wheels, make sure everything's working the way we want. And so that's great. And also it just makes sure that our audience and Dan's audience, a lot of which are the same, obviously, is that gives you guys the sneak peek to get what you want, because
exactly
we stocked up on everything as best as we possibly could, but we can't predict the future, all the way, right? I am a doctor of time and space, so I try, I do my best. But sometimes, the paradoxical landscape of the space-time continuum can be a little fractured sometimes and somewhat fragmented in less than stellar detail. So, it's really important to try to do what we can. But this way, you guys, at least will get everything you want. And then worst comes to worst, we're out of some stuff when it comes to Black Friday. But that's okay, right? It's
Right.
We're not Walmart, and we're not Target. We're not just unboxing an extra run of our products that we bought from a supplier, right? We're still the same size team this time of year, and we're still the same products this time of year. So
100%.
Still making them by hand. We're still making them as fast as we can. And sometimes that's going to keep up, and sometimes it's not.
Exactly. And I actually love that you said that. You guys had a post recently, I forgot exactly when it was, and it kind of touched on that and kind of piggybacked on a video that I made where I talked about and I think we discussed it briefly on this stream, but the concept that people love to complain on both sides. And what do I mean by that is they love to complain about Amazon and what it does to like the local economy and how they aren't the greatest to their employees. And they're like, boo corporate, boo corporate. Then on the flip side, when a small batch company goes to send something and Veterans Day, the post office was closed, I saw the USPS trucks coming to our house. They were just only delivering Amazon yesterday. They were not delivering USPS.
Correct.
And so when you order from a company that is small batch, there's no benefit of being able to have the backing of a corporate-owned delivery system. And people will be like, you're shipping so slow. This is so ridiculous. This is so expensive. It's like, you can't have both. If you like the benefits of small batch, there are some things that come with that. And you guys had a post that just entirely articulated that well here. And as always, with you guys being transparent, somebody had reached out and said they ordered beard wash conditioner and they got something in by mistake. They said within the hour telling me they would send me a new one. And it's like, this is truly small batch owned and ran by real people. And
hell yeah.
I actually think that's beautiful. And
I do too.
I prefer that.
That's why we post stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the feel. I just had a situation where I had to contact a company about something. I'm not kidding you. I could not get a hold of a human. I tried all the tricks, guys. I tried dial zero. Like even when it didn't give me the prompt, I said, speak to an agent. I could not get to a human. I went on the website. There was no live chat. There was no email literally listed. I could not get through to a human. I would so much rather have an issue, reach out and they'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. We got a new one out to you. And maybe I have to wait a couple of days, but I feel invested now. I feel connected now. And I love that there's actual people behind it. And we see the quote going around with the holidays. These large corporations are not going to miss you shopping for them.
No.
These small batch companies will feel all of that. 100%.
And that's it, man. And it's like, I love highlighting stuff like that too, because those are the biggest wins for me. Taking something that we've already made and getting it out to somebody who we know already likes it. I mean, that's important to us, but obviously that's a pretty easy task to win. Making sure that, when things don't go right, that we correct it quickly. And then people are excited and happy and impressed by how we handle the problem. That's where it really shines. Like that's where your real colors come out. Right.
And I mean, I'm big on that lifestyle brand, on that personal, emotional attachment. People think about how quickly people just return stuff to Amazon, how quickly people take stuff back to Walmart, even when it's not right. Like if somebody breaks something at home in the first day or two, they'll take it back to Walmart without a second thought. They'll do an Amazon drop off without a second thought. When you're emotionally attached to a company and you want that company to succeed, you're going to go the extra mile to make sure it's all right on everybody's end, for the consumer, for the company. And it makes all the difference, man. It really does.
It does. It's crazy. And it's so true what you said too about like, I highly doubt that, I actually know for a fact, but I'll say highly doubt. I highly doubt that anyone that's in our community, for example, would ever like get something and then not like it or just be like, or use your example. Like someone would be in the bathroom,
Yeah.
knock it off the counter with their hand the day after they get it and break it and say that it arrived broken. Like no one would do that to us.
Exactly.
Like that, and it's like, you know, it's like, so maybe if someone popped in off of a Google search or something, they'd never used us, they're not one of us, right? Maybe that's a different story, but I can safely say that out of our repeat customers that are part of our family here, I mean, that would never happen.
I love that. And look at right here. So Timothy said, and it should be Beards. He corrected that. At Beards Away 5, Billy Joyner was the one repping the hat. But when the judge asked my most used product, without question, Dr. Nick's. And Billy's in the house right now. How cool is that?
What's up, Billy?
And he said,
what's up, everybody? What's up, Timothy, of course. But
yes, and also I hope all of our veterans, Timothy included, had a great Veterans Day yesterday and got, like I said, all the love and acknowledgement that they deserve.
Dude, that's awesome, man. This is freaking so cool.
It really is. And then here's our buddy Billy right there, repping the hat at the beard competition.
Hell yeah!
How cool is that?
Awesome, dude.
And I believe, if I remember correctly, he went whaler for this competition. He hadn't been before. And then from there, he took second place. And
nice.
Timothy, I believe, again, when they asked him the most commonly used products, I believe Timothy won 2 different competitions.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look at that beard, dude. How do you not
Insane.
take home multiple pieces of metal?
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely insane. I'm trying to see if I can find here, because he had some cool, I think it was in my Facebook group. He had some cool, he said, yes, look at that. 2 different categories with the winner saying, hey, yeah, I use Dr. Nick's. Like, this is how my beard got like
dude.
this.
And see, that's the kind of thing that people, you can't put a price on that. You can't buy that. You can't, that's something that you create and that you build, right? I mean, this is, the fact that Timothy, the fact that you said that, and Billy, the fact that you're here, you say things like that, right? It's like, we can't, these aren't things that you can just, manifest, right? It takes time. You got to put in the work. You got to do the right thing. You got to make good stuff. And you just got to, the whole, series of events has to be just right. And then you start getting those sorts of comments out of people. Like, we don't send out free product to get people to say stuff like that. Like, these are, this is genuine feedback. Look at that.
Woo wee. That's a big boy beard right there.
Tell you what. That deserves the comment that I got a couple of weeks ago from somebody when I was getting out of my car. I was getting out of that Hummer and some old guy was in the parking lot. He's like, holy hell. He's like, it looks like a Tasmanian devil stepping out of a spaceship. My beard was blowing around all over the place. And he was funnier than hell.
Is that a man or a lion? Yeah, I want to know how long the girth can stay like that, because obviously he flared it out for like the picture and the comp, but like normal life, what does that thing look like when he walks around? Because I can get mine looking pretty girthy, but like when you walk in your life and your shoulders, it pushes it in. What's that look like when it's down?
What's crazy though is like, look at the transparency. Like, it doesn't get any transparency till about halfway down. You get a little,
yeah.
But I'd say, the last 25% of that is the only part that has any transparency to it. Like, it's bushed out.
Oh yeah,
but it's dense.
If you do the squint test, there's still a lot of beard there.
Lot of beard
there. It's a crazy beard. Yeah, Timothy, do you remember his name? I feel like I know him, but I'm not pulling off the top of my head. Wow. And Billy said, such a great time Tim and I had. That guy was a beast. Pitcher doesn't do it justice. Wow. So even better than the pitcher.
Wow. That's crazy. Super cool.
That's got to be, I'm guessing, at least like a 6-year beard right there. At least. Probably closer to 10.
Oh, yeah. I mean, at least, because he's right at, like, he's got to be right at that 18-inch mark-ish, right?
Yeah.
18 to 20.
That's belly button right there.
Yeah,
so
that's 8.
Timothy's
that's 18.
at 6, 12, 18. Yeah, I would say probably 18.
Yeah, I think so. Probably right about there. Damn. That's one hell of a beard. That's cool. I gotta take a photo like that. I want to bush mine out like that and get a photo. I've never done it.
Because you rock yours a little bit more tucked in a little bit more narrow. I wonder if you
Um,
did and you got it out on the shoulders like he did there and you're just flaring it out. Do that, please. Send it after the stream.
I'll do it when I get the braid out later. I'll do it. It won't work after the braid because it'll be too wavy. It would just have like big kinks in it.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay,
get it
here's that.
tomorrow morning though. I'll do it from the shower like that. I'll actually
Yeah.
get ready like that tomorrow. I'll rock that all day.
So Timothy was at 8 inches. So 8, 16, probably 20 to 24.
Yeah.
And he said he took first place in the 8-inch over. What an unfair category. There were 9-inch beards competing with that.
Damn.
Oh my God.
See, you can't have an 8 plus.
It's gotta
Come
be
on.
12 at least. 8
At
plus.
least a foot. Like if you're gonna do the and then category, it's gotta be at least over a foot.
Wow.
You get
That's
one of those
crazy.
dudes that came in from Washington with the over 2 foot, natural or something competing in that one. It's like, how do you? Sure, it's not just about length, but how do you even compare density or quality at that point when there's such vast differences in length?
It's It's why when you see these beard competition circuits, it's the top dogs are at all the competitions, and it's like never the same winner. Like my buddy Jason, he's been in a ton. He won a huge one recently, and then didn't place at the Great American Classic. And it's like, it's just so subjective, which is fun, and it's not super like serious and stuff. But yeah,
No, and it's not. But it's like, yeah, I get it. In the Moose, I was literally just reading. I knew that's the one you were going to highlight.
I knew you were.
Yeah. You saw me reading it. You could tell I read something for more than 2 seconds, so you know it was the one that was more than 2 sentences.
100%.
Or one sentence, just a long one. So I've created a couple of problems with this damn Hummer, with a few people, actually.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, because it's like there's a lot of people who have checked it out, and it's like it solves all the problems they didn't like about electric cars, right?
Right.
And
that was for you too.
Yeah, same. Yeah, very much same. And it's I love this damn thing, man. And it's big, it's comfortable, but I have not had to think about a charge once. So never have I, not so far. I think the first stream we had with this thing was last stream, right? So
yeah.
Was last Tuesday the first one? No, it was the one before that was the first one.
Okay.
And then last week, and then so 2 streams ago. But yeah, 1 week.
So this was on October 30th. So I think 1 or 2 ago.
That was posted October 30th?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes more sense then. Okay. Because that would have been like the Wednesday after I got it. So I got it on the 28th then. So it's been like, 2 weeks in a day. So I haven't had to think about charging it at all. Like I get home, I plug it in at night, and it's charged up to where I like it in the morning at 80%. That's where you're supposed to keep them. Is like charge it up to 80. And if you're going on a long trip, charge it all the way up. But they say for like charging and draining, the target is 80%. Then you drain it from there and get it back up to 80.
And is it faster to 80 and then the remaining 20 is slower or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Think about it like I actually heard a really good analogy of it. Think about it like a movie theater, where if you had a big line of people filing into a movie theater, it'd be really easy for everyone to get in and sit down quick when the theater's empty. But when the theater fills up and there's 2 seats there and 1 seat there and 3 seats there, and you got to get to the end and stand and kind of look and be like, oh, okay, do you want to go over there? There's 2 of them.
Wow.
That's what starts happening with the lithium battery past 80%, is you have to start looking for places for the electrons to go.
What? That makes entire sense. Wow.
Yeah.
There you go, guys. Lesson right there.
Yep, there you go. Lithium batteries, charging, movie theaters, people, boom, electrons, same thing.
Man.
And so no, I literally so far, you guys know me. I'm a picky pain in the ass, and I do not have anything bad to say about it. I wouldn't. So far, I have not found anything I would change except for one thing, and you guys are gonna laugh your asses off about it. So, okay, in the door, you know how in your doors, newer cars, you got the window switches that are kind of flat with the door, and they kind of like the button kind of like curves in. You know what I mean? So you can scoop your finger of it and pull the button up, or you can button down, right? Okay. So now think about it this way. You're pushing into the surface that the button is mounted on to make the window go down, right? And you're pulling up out of the surface to make the window go up, right?
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Rear window of the Hummer is controlled by a button up next to the center rear view mirror, right? However, that button is the same shape button that you have in the door to roll up and down the windows,
Okay.
right? So when you push that button in, when you push that button in, that window goes down. When you pull that button down, the window goes up.
Oh, opposites.
Because they didn't use a different button and they didn't reverse the logic on the switch of which side is up and which side is down because it's mounted upside down in the ceiling. So they just didn't fix the orientation of the button. So literally one design flaw, and it's the way the rear window rolls up and down. I've been looking, don't worry.
To get like a switch.
I'm trying to find something else that I just think is like, something else I could complain about it. So there's got to be something. And I can't find anything. Damn thing's perfect.
The front windows are normal for the
The
switch?
Oh yeah. It's the reason that one's backwards. Dude, the crab walk is fun. Although so far completely pointless from my perspective. It is freaking cool. Like what I think is way cooler. I have the SUV version, not the truck version.
Okay.
That's the pickup. So I got that one. Yep. And I got it in the midnight or the meteor color. But yeah, crab walk. You can that one right there. The meteorite metallic. That's the one. But it's like it's crazy what and that's weird how they make it look blue-ish. It doesn't look blue at all in person. But
interesting.
It's that's the interior of mine. Without that, I got the all black, everything black, no white. But it's like what I find more interesting than the crab walk is just the automatic rear steering. Because when you're in like a parking lot or you're going around like a tight, small street off of a main road, the back tires just automatically counter turn to your fronts.
Oh yeah.
So it swings the back of the vehicle around as you're going.
Have you had to get used to that?
No.
Okay.
You don't even notice it actually unless you're really paying attention.
Okay.
You can't tell that it's doing it. And so far I've used crab walk to like move to like different sides of my driveway. Like if I didn't want to I was moving to like do something in the yard last weekend, instead of like pulling to the end of the driveway and then backing up and coming back to the other side of the driveway,
Yeah.
I actually just crab walked over to the other side of the driveway and then just pulled backwards. It's you just drive diagonal across the driveway.
That's crazy.
It feels super weird. Like it's so strange. I did not think I would like it this much. I did not think I'd like the one pedal driving as much, but I have not used my brake pedal at all since like 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
Or like a week ago.
It's that responsive.
Oh, it's just it's just really cool. Like like you said, think about driving a golf cart. You know, it's like exact same thing.
Interesting. Okay, so I live in a GM, a General Motors town. Flint, Michigan is GM. We have one GM, but we've gotten away from it because we've actually had better success with like Kia or Toyota, which again here is like a sin. And so we get comments from people, especially family members. But it's normally lighthearted, but it's still pretty constant about not having it. If I had an electric vehicle, it would be a step even further towards that, and the comments would be consistent. Have you gotten comments or looks or like playful ones or serious ones or anything about being an electric vehicle owner?
No. I mean, the only ones that I've gotten are from people that are like kind of saying that it wouldn't. They're like, I don't know how you deal with, this or this or that. I'm like, oh, we have other cars that run on gas. This one's for around town. It's for this, it's for that. I use it for this. Drive my K5 when I'm not. They're like, oh, well, that makes sense. If it's not your only car, I totally get it. You know what I mean? So like, I get it. I get the stress from people really exists around like the time it would take to charge the damn thing.
Yeah.
But at a supercharger, like a really fast one, you can go from like 10% to 80% in like 20 minutes. It's not like you're sitting there for 6 hours waiting for your car to charge. You know what I mean?
Right. If
it's
you're
not
going
like
shopping or going to eat, it's going to be good.
Yeah, it's not as bad as people say it is. And it's someone at the charger like, yeah, dude, it's once you see it in person and once you drive next to it, that's what so yes, have I gotten comments from people over the phone? Yes. Over video conference calls? Absolutely. Have I gotten any comments from anybody in person? No, because they stand next to it. And even this guy I was going to a store last week down in Fall River, and he was like, he got out of his truck and he was like, that's the new electric Hummer, right? And I'm like, yep. And he's like, holy hell. He's like, my wife's been bugging me about getting one of these. And like, I haven't even seen one in person. He's like, I've been telling her she's ridiculous and no. And he's like, I did not know they looked like that. He's like, can I peek inside? And I'm like, sure. And he looked inside. And he's like, oh crap, we got to go test drive one. And so it's literally everyone that's seen it or touched it or sat in it is like, oh man, I could deal with one of these, you know.
That is cool. That interior does look insane. So, especially the SUV one looks so sick.
Oh, it's so comfortable. Like it comes with rubber floor mat everywhere. Like the whole floor is just rubber floor matted. Like the floor is made out of rubber. It's got rubber clip in with snaps on top of that. It's like metal snaps like you'd see on a tent or something to clip in the floor mats on top of the rubber. Like talk about something that feels nice and is made to where you can keep it looking nice. It's not carpet that's going to get messed up in the winter. Right. Nothing's going to get scuffed from boots. It's got an in the center console. It's empty under the shifter because there's no linkage for the shifting linkage, right? So it's not like a normal center console where you have to have the link from the shifter going to the transmission. No transmission.
Oh yeah.
So underneath the console, like from the floor to right under where your shifter is, it's open and empty. Like you can pass things through the center console next to your right foot when you're driving. So if you get in the winter and you got big bulky boots on, I saw a photo of someone, they keep their normal shoes in that little center thing. They get in, take off their boots, throw them in the center, put on their shoes, and they're like driving in normal shoes instead of having to wear big ass snow boots. You just stuff them between the console.
Wow, because it's just wires.
And they all run up to the front. Yeah.
Right. Interesting.
Another thing I've noticed about it that I really like, it justifies it weighing 9,000 pounds, I guess, is the steel and the framing that they use for like the tube steel and the frame that they build in the bottom. The unibody is made out of the same damn thing. So like if you look in the door frames and you look to where like the hinges of the door is attached, like right behind under the windshield, you know where that little A column is. That's frame. So like the frame goes under and the frame goes over where the door is attached. Like this thing is literally just a tank.
Yeah, if you get in a collision, you win.
IHS says that it is the safest vehicle right now on the road to be in if you are the one getting in a high-speed accident. Like if you're in it, it's like they said it's top 5 safest crash test vehicles on the road right now.
Just don't be against it.
It got seriously dinged for basically obliterating everything that it comes in contact with.
They're like, this is great for you, but everybody else on the road, terrifying.
They said that, they compared it like this thing hits a Mini Cooper. There's not much left. They had to actually rate limit this year. Wow. They had to rate limit the top speed because IHS said they either had to take 2,000 pounds off of it or they had to make the top speed under 110 miles an hour or they wouldn't let it on the highway.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's literally that heavy that like they're like, we don't want this thing going 120 plus miles an hour.
Yeah, not much is stopping that. Wow.
There's no barricade on any interstate in the United States that would stop that.
That's a good feeling being in there and knowing that.
Dude, yeah. I mean, it's safe. Airbags everywhere. It's heavier than hell. I mean,
wow.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you, Dynamite. And then Leo says, I knew a woman who had a dealer needs to fix this list for every new car she owned until she got a Toyota. I just stepped into this Toyota world, I don't know, 3-4 months ago. I had no idea, absolutely no concept of the cult following that Toyota has.
Oh, it's huge.
Like I knew Jeeps had like the thing and the ducks and like this whole thing. I didn't know how passionate people. I'm a very car ignorant guy. Not bad, not anything. I just don't know a lot. And so Toyota to me was just like a foreign car company. It was just like Civic. It was just like
just like Honda.
Yeah, just like Honda. It was just like anything else. And then once I did the research to essentially, I wanted a vehicle that I needed to do the least amount of work and would last the longest. That was my entire goal.
That's a Toyota.
Everything was like Toyota, especially the 4Runner. And all the mechanics say it's just laid out the way like a mechanic would do it. Everything makes sense. Everything is very simple to diagnose and solve. They just love them. So when I was there, I don't know if I told the story, but when I was there getting an oil change it was just like last week or the week before, it's a BMW Toyota dealership. And so you pull into one service garage, it's all open as one thing, but you pull into one side is Toyota, the other side is BMW. I saw my buddy from high school that I haven't seen in like 18 years. And I'm like, oh my God, Chris, what's up, man? He's like, what are you doing here? I was like, oh, just get my 4Runner oil changed. And he was like, hey, we're all BMW over here. We get all the BMW discounts. We all own Toyotas. And it was like, that really hit me as he's selling these high-end BMWs. And funniest like add on to this. So I mentioned it on Command's Corner last night. I had a post go viral on Reddit, like 7 million views. And I was baiting it a little bit. Essentially, I turned my hat backwards and was like, hey, at 36 years old, can you still rock a backwards hat? I don't really care what people think or say, but I just knew that it would get a big spark. And it was a good looking picture. And one guy, I mean, I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments, no, thousands now, but one guy had commented and I just happened to catch it. And he was like something along the lines of, you look stupid, grow up, this was never okay, like loser. And sometimes I like to be a little petty, you know, a little bit. And so on Reddit, everything is transparent. If you guys get involved on Reddit, be very careful because you can see every comment they've ever left on any thread. Yep. You can see their like activity, what groups they post the most in, they follow. So be very careful out there, you guys. There's some weird stuff on Reddit. So I went to his, and I noticed he had been commenting on a Toyota forum. And so I wrote back to him and I was like, hey man, that wasn't very nice. I said, us Toyota guys got to stick together. And then he wrote back, you're right, man. I apologize. Keep rocking on. And I'm like, there we go.
There
Toyota,
you go.
Toyota love right there, man.
Dude, yeah, the Toyota Illuminati arises.
Yeah. Yep. So I just thought that was funny. But yeah, I'm just
That's
getting
hilarious.
into this Toyota world, and people love it. People are fanatics. And I was just in this like little GM bubble of our town where if you didn't have it, you were like cast away and like you weren't allowed to be around town if it wasn't a GM vehicle.
You know what though? I bet you talk about the electric vehicle stigma being even worse out there.
Yeah.
I bet you get zero of that stigma with the electric Hummer.
Well, it is GMC, right?
It's a GMC product, right? So they're going to be like, well, it's GMC. And, they did it right. I wouldn't like one of these, but GMC did it right. You can hear a bunch of that crap.
Yeah. The only like pushback to that is we had all the factories here. They left, right? For other reasons. We don't have any electric factories. So they're still probably a little salty, a little bitter.
Probably.
Of the area. And I actually saw, we had a Hummer in front of us today. It was the old school one. The back was like rusted out. They were going like 6 miles per hour. And I told Sam, I was like, I guarantee in there, they're like, I'm not guzzling this gas. I'm going nice and slow.
Oh, hell yeah. You look at those things, dude, like one of the original H1s, like those things get between like 4 and 10 miles a gallon tops.
And now the name Hummer is the opposite. You got electric and you can go as far as you can on it.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny. We got talking to somebody. I was talking to someone the other morning about it. And like, he was like, he's like, he bought an electric hybrid, like a gas assisted hybrid. I forget what it was. What was it? No, I want to remember. It was something cool. It was like a weird plug-in hybrid from like BMW or something.
Okay.
A sporty one. And he's like, yeah, my buddy was giving me crap. And he's like, man, well, when the world comes to an end here, he's like, you're going to be pretty screwed driving only having an electric car. And he's like, actually, I got to thinking about it. He's like, I'm way more confident in my ability to generate and store electricity than I am being able to turn fossil fuels into gasoline. He's like, I'm pretty sure that if I was stranded somewhere, I could figure out some solar panels and some batteries and some conversion and some art inversions. He's like, pretty sure I wouldn't ever figure out the distillation process of petroleum.
Right. So true.
He's like, so actually, he's like, I might not be that screwed. He's like, I'm pretty sure I could figure out how to charge this battery eventually.
Yeah, so true. And JGJ, this kind of comes full circle here to what we talked about earlier. He said, Toyota had our business until our local dealer treated us badly a while back. We went Honda and have not turned back yet. And that goes to show everything. So Dr. Nix, to give you guys like a peek behind the scenes.
We just talked about this.
Peek behind the scenes is Dr. Nix is so confident in their products, so confident in their customer service. They fully know the hurdle is just getting people to try the company, because once they do, you're in. You're good until treated otherwise. And Dr.
Yep.
Nick's isn't going to do that with their customer service. They're not going to do that with the quality of their products. They're not going to treat you wrong at all. So it's just about getting into the door. And in that same breath, they know 100% how important it is to maintain those customers that come back. And Nick had, I forget exactly what he had said when I had a conversation with him, but he's like, I would much rather spend $100 to get and keep new customers rather than try to spend $100 to keep new customers rather than spend $100 to go and randomly try to find like a mass of one-time customers. And
Oh yeah. If
this
you
is it.
could, if I could get one repeat customer for $100 versus, if I could save an existing customer for
Yep.
$100 worth of anything versus gain 10 new customers that I don't know for $100, I would save the existing customer for that $100.
Yep.
And I think a lot of companies are like, you know what, that customer is a pain in the ass. Like they got to go. And we're going to let them go and we're going to get 10 new ones. And one of them is going to work out to be like that one. And it's like, we just don't look at it like that. We
Man,
can't, it's not in us to do it.
dude, and I'm knowing that and leaning into that more and more and more and more because I'm finding what I work the best with. I'm finding the companies that I morally align with and feel good with at the end of the night. No names, no negative, bad talk or anything, but I did just recently in the last week, maybe week and a half, dropped my first ever affiliate, my longest affiliate. Essentially, they had a change of ownership within the last year, and I thought the change of ownership was going to be a good thing, and at first it was, and then it started to go down, down, down. And what you just talked about was my final conversation with them and the one that finally allowed me to be like, okay, this is not my place. I don't need to be partnered here anymore. And essentially, they have completely blown off their wholesale accounts. They've completely neglected their existing customer base. And when I brought this up and we had conversations about it, they pretty much told me we would rather go after 10 new customers on the e-commerce side as compared to trying to maintain existing customers that are smaller numbers. And I was like, just gut shot. And then to go even further, I said, well, man, what about the wholesale? Like I have local companies that are reaching out to me that are so bummed that this wholesale is being treated differently and stuff. And they said, we would much rather kill it on Amazon and Meta ads as compared to wholesale. And I just melted and it just hurt my soul because I'm a people person. I want people to go to the store and buy them. I want people online to talk about these things. Like to me, that's really, really important. And for them to say we're going the other way, we would much rather have random names on a screen on e-commerce, Amazon, and Meta ads. I just knew that I didn't have anything to add and it wasn't something that I wanted to be around. And everything that Nick just said is what I value and what I align with. I want to rock with you guys. I want to bring new people in that come in and understand it and add value. So yes to all of that. And JGJ understand entirely. And I would have done the same thing. Absolutely.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's exactly how I am with stuff. And I don't know. I just don't understand. I don't understand people that are willing to give you, because you know what I look at? I think the time we spend with any of our customers is an investment, right? It's an investment in that customer and it's an investment in the relationship. So, if you've made investments in your customer base and, the people who support your business and your brand, for me, letting that person go away for something that you could fix, but you choose not to because you'd rather chase new business. For me, I guess the thing that really gets me on top of it feeling like not the right thing to do, it doesn't feel, you know what I mean? It doesn't feel right for a lot of reasons. But also, wouldn't that feel like just kind of like abandoning the effort you've put into that relationship? Like,
yes,
you're kind of throwing away any time investment that you have in that person. And you've probably spent some time growing and nurturing that relationship from time to time. So I don't know. For me, that's like just as much giving up on yourself as it is almost, giving up on someone else.
Yeah, it almost feels like a last resort, a last like I don't know. And it just I can't do it. I can't align with that. I used to, and not in a bad way, but I used to be able to say like, hey, to each their own. It's a different approach. It's a different route. There's nothing wrong. And I'm just like, I don't like that. I can't get behind that, especially when you're saying at the expense of the relationships and the people that you've already established. I just can't do it. Yep.
No, that's what gets me. It's just crazy.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad that I'm glad that it's one of those things where you at least are getting to see, you're getting to prune your relationships
Yeah.
appropriately as people grow in different directions,
And
right?
that's all it is. I talked to a friend about it when it happened and was like, as I continue to grow, these things are going to happen. My circle seems to get smaller and smaller, and that's okay. It's not in a bad way by any means. I'm just
No,
figuring out what I work the best with.
dude, that's it. And,
Yep.
and just doing what's right for you, is
Yep.
going to be huge.
Yep. And Leo says, I remember a microcomputer that used their dealers to build a reputation and then made a wholesale pricing that let big box stores sell for Leo, don't get me started. So he knew a microcomputer that used dealers to build the reputation. So they used the dealers to say, talk about how amazing this is, talk about this, and then made wholesale pricing to let the big box stores sell it below those wholesale companies. Dude, that's another. I've lost affiliates over that as well, where they entirely use affiliates. They entirely use me as a mouthpiece to build their reputation, to get it out to people, and then that's so crazy, Leo, and then try to pull the rug out from underneath them. I had a company that's no longer an affiliate. They came to me and said, hey, Dan, we just want to let you know we are going to suspend our affiliate program for November and December. We'll join back up January 1st, and we'll send you a confirmation email for the sign up.
What? So, okay, so you build their brand up all year. Okay, hold on. It hurts a little, so I'm trying to ow. So you build the brand up all year, and then you get to the busy part of the year where you're supposed to really kind of like start harvesting the fruit that you've planted now all year. And they take away your ability to capitalize on the momentum that you built for them and come back and do it again.
In the two busiest, most sales driven, most reach out. Yes, I have
They
an
expected
email.
you to agree to that. I wonder if any of their other affiliates agreed to that. Like, did anyone agree to that?
They're no longer on my list, so I do not know. I have the email. I don't have an NDA. I don't have anything I could share to the world. I'm not going to, because that doesn't help anybody, and that's not my style. But that was
Wow.
unbelievable to hear. And they were like, and we value your relationship so much. We value your feedback, and you're tapped into the community. And but we're just suspending our affiliate program for November and December.
Because we don't want to pay you. Yeah. Because you're super duper valuable. We love you and we're so glad you're part of the family, but we don't think you need to be paid for what you do.
Yep. It's
Nate, can you believe that, dude? Like, imagine saying that to someone who does work with you. Like, holy hell.
Yep. And beyond insane. Yeah, exactly. Dan, you mean, yeah, Christmas spirit. Yeah, Dan, please do all of this and we will not value your effort or what you've earned. And man, and Timothy, he says, I'm too nice of a guy, but I know people who handle situations. Yeah, yes, I often tell myself I'm too nice of a guy. Sam tells me I'm too nice. If it was up to many people, these things would be blasted publicly and all over the place and try to drown their company. But I don't want to be known as the guy that takes down like spiteful relationships and buries them to the ground, even though it'd feel good sometimes. That one was crazy. And yeah, yep.
What is that hat you're wearing? It looks like it says Massachusetts on it for a second. I was like,
Close.
what is that?
It's just a Man City soccer hat.
Manchester City. Okay.
Yep. So yeah, that was definitely, yep. Dan, bills pay themselves. Yeah, I forgot. You're right. They do.
Duh.
Yeah. JB says, take them down. Yeah, that was that was a gut shot. I think I can even read it at verbatim for you guys because it's just how crazy that was. Yeah,
That's
how
insane.
yeah, I want to take a moment to express our gratitude for your contributions as a brand ambassador. I was an affiliate for one, but your dedication and enthusiasm has been invaluable for us. For the time being, we're shifting focus and we would suspend the affiliate relationship for November and December. I sent payments last night for October and what we owe. Thanks again for your hard work and dedication. In the meantime, please do not hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or need anything from us. We genuinely appreciate your understanding and hope to stay connected.
Be like, that sounds great. And I do have a follow-up question. If you're not willing to pay me for the services that the sales that I've generated all year, it would just be cool to see an attribution report for November and December so I can just account for what I would have made, had you decided to keep this fair.
That would be amazing. But like even the verbiage there is just dirty and just gross. We authentically like stop.
That letter was written by saying Chat GPT. Hey, Chat GPT, I run an online brand. We have affiliates. We need to part ways with one because we don't feel like paying him, but write me something that might make him feel like he can come back next year.
Yeah.
Like that's literally Chat GPT like generated separation letter.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, wow. Leo says, I don't remember the details, but I recall a company pulled the same on Scuba. He was then very clear about why he no longer recommended that. And I'm sure when this just happened, guys, like a week and a half ago. So I'm sure once the dust settles, I'll make it kind of known in my own way. But yeah, it happens. I mean, it's a very gross thing. And on the same note, there are companies that don't drop you as affiliate, but just like Leo was saying about the supercomputer and building it up to get around them, there's companies that will try to jump your affiliate as well. They'll put out codes that are bigger than yours, and they know that you're bringing the customer there, but if they can avoid that commission, they're going to do everything that they can. And for me, I'm like, what, you avoided a $3 commission? Like that's worth like impairing that relationship for and not wanting them to be personally invested. It's just
it's just crazy. It's crazy. And like we go one step beyond further than that too, where it's like if someone did, for example, have a discount code that superseded yours, which no one does, but if they did, you would still have attribution to that sale, whether or not someone used your code or not, right? Because that's what we think is fair. Like if you brought in a customer and they used your code when they came in, that customer is attributed to you for a period of time, regardless if they use a code or not.
Yep.
And that's just fair business. Like that customer wouldn't have been there unless it was for you. So why would we ever take away your commission for future sales on that customer? Like that's 100%. Just ridiculous.
And that's noticed and appreciated. And yeah, Grimhoff says, that's the most generated company response. You did great. You helped so much. Goodbye.
Yeah, exactly right. Like, here's our parting gift of a Jelly of the Month club.
Yeah, so funny. Hey, I was just going to say Chat GPT. How do I break up with my partner over text message?
Exactly right. Like, I swear, we could go type this in right now and see what it would be like, but I promise it'd be very, very similar.
JB says, new affiliate list coming soon. Oh, it's already out. So those of you that save the old list and you compare to the new list, you'll find the missing holes. That's all I'm going to say. So if there's any, I leave the breadcrumbs. I just don't yell about them. So yeah, they're out there. Yep. And yep. Moose says that seems to happen with a lot with well-known companies try to jump. Yes. And that's unfortunate. The bigger these companies get, the more that they start to jump. Why? Because here's a big lesson, guys. And this is why Dr. Nick's really is amazing. Moose noticed as the companies get more noted and get bigger, they start to try and jump the commission. Why? As they get bigger, many of them are because they took on investors, they took on shareholders, they took on investments, and now they're emboldened to appease those investors and those shareholders. How do they do that? They have to show numbers. What are ways you can do that? Cut out these little commissions, these little affiliates that got you there to that point to have investors. So that's the problem. And this company was a case of that. There are investors involved. So yes. Yep. Yes. And Nate says, if you pay attention, you know already. Yeah. Yep. That is very, very true. Yep, very true.
Oh man, so like I literally just tried it. I had to do it. I was like, so here's ChatGPT's response. We hope this message finds you well. We wanted to know that we really appreciate your involvement in our affiliate program.
Did it start by saying, I hope this message finds you well?
Yes.
The first thing, let me say, hi, Dan. I hope this message finds you well.
Okay. And then it says, we will be temporarily suspending our affiliate program for the months of November and December to focus on some internal adjustments. We'll be resuming operations in January, and we'd be thrilled to have you back with us for the new year. Thank you for your partnership and understanding, and we look forward to reconnecting with you soon.
Wow. Again,
they wrote that with ChatGPT. Like ChatGPT literally just wrote me this, and here was my prompt. I run an online brand that has affiliates. I want to suspend the affiliate operations for November and December. Write me a single paragraph email to my affiliate to let them know that I appreciate them and would love to have them back next year.
Dude, they said for the time being, comma, we are shifting focus. Like, that's hilarious.
People writing all this technology to detect AI and text. Right. All you need is me. Just read it to me. I'll tell you.
Brains. Wow. That's hilarious. So, lesson is treat people right and good things will happen.
And don't take the easy way out and you let ChatGPT write your communications and breakup letters for you, because you got like another month before everyone's going to know your BS. So just be genuine out there.
100%. And Moose said, Dan's Hansel and Gretel's leaving the breadcrumbs. Yeah, I do. They're always out there. You just got to look. You got to look. All right, guys, unbelievable, but it has been over an hour. Just as a refresher reminder, November 18th, Nick said it, not me. I wasn't trying to self-plug there, but Command's Corner, we are going to be releasing the seasonal scents again, which are Yule Tree and Peppermint Bark, both holiday scents, both all natural essential oils. And also on that night will be the sneak peek of the Black Friday deal. Essentially, it's going to be 20% off plus a 15% off code, 35% off. And then Black Friday, going to run the same type of deal. Just know that on Cyber Monday, there will be a different deal and it is less. So if you want to get the best savings possible, it's going to be that weekend. If you wait until Monday, you still will save more than normal, which is awesome. But it's not going to be quite as much. And I don't want people having like, why didn't I know about this? We want to put it out to you guys first and foremost. This is not posted anywhere other than for you guys right here. So tune in on the 18th, but before then we'll be back because it's not that time yet, right? We'll be back. What is the date today? 12?
No, that's gonna be the next time. The next doctor's orders is after Command's Corner.
Oh, Command's Corner is Monday. Holy crap!
Yup.
Wow.
Next Monday.
Dude, time is going stupid fast.
I'm telling you, dude. It's like the simulation's getting broken. Like it's not even realistic anymore.
Man, Moose, we ran out of time, but I literally had this pulled up to show you guys real quick. There is officially a mystery scent that will be added to the main lineup. I would imagine very early 2025. It's ready to go, just waiting on some labels and some other details. I'm not going to say which one yet. Maybe we'll get like a guessing post coming up, but the mystery oil, the very first one, will be added to the lineup. It is good to go. Jill worked her magic and is just waiting on some finishing touches.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the labels for that came in. Nope, they're gonna be this. I think the labels are gonna be in this week for that.
Wow, so maybe even December. Stay tuned, and we'll be sure to get the word out for you guys on everything here. But Nick, final words for our friends with overtime right now.
Oh man, I had to look at a calendar to realize Command's Corner was before our next doctor's orders.
Me
but
too.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
It's nuts. I got let's see. I got 57 minutes before my next thing here. So this is like a huge amount of time for me to be able to do get home, let out the dog, hit the bank, and stop at the store. And I have a whole 50 minutes to do it. That's insanity to me.
Guys, and he's not being sarcastic. That is unheard of for Nick's day.
I mean, the fact that I don't have to do all those things while on a conference call is actually pretty insane. Like things are really looking up, guys. So no, this is great. And yes, you didn't mention it. Of course, I will mention it. Is that come to Command's Corner like the next Monday? That's where we're doing some of this fun stuff. We're dropping the scents. We're doing all kinds of fun stuff because we love mixing these two audiences, and it's just the inner. It's all one big happy family here. So Anyway, come check us out next Monday. It's going to be the 17th, right? Or no, 18th.
18th.
So Monday the 18th, Command's Corner. Don't miss that one. And then Tuesday the 19th, we'll be back here on Doctor's Orders doing a cool, probably a recap with a bunch of the stuff from the night before.
Yep.
And who knows what other shenanigans we're going to get into. We always do something the day after Command's Corner. So let's see what we got going.
Oh, yeah.
But come see us. 1 o'clock, 19th, next week.
Boom, baby. See you guys on Tuesday.